Here we go. The Labor Day edition. What is that? I'm not even really sure. The Labor Day edition of GM3X. Look, we're going to talk about anniversaries today. We're also going to talk about a couple puppies that happen to jump into the neighbor's pool. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about leadership and what that really means and looks like. And we're also going to talk about some parenting as we go into this week. That's right. I'm going to challenge you as a parent this week. I'm going to challenge myself as a parent as well. And some of you might be saying, well, I ain't got no dang kids. And well, parenting does have a lot to do with kids, but there are people in your life. They might not be birthed to you, but you've got an obligation and a responsibility to parent them as well. Hopefully many of you are in positions where you have a chance to lead and make an impact in other people's lives. And we're going to talk about what that looks like, not just today, but all week, right here on GM3X. Let's grow. Welcome to GM3X. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the founder of the 800% Elite Club. I hope you're ready for motivation, education, inspiration, celebrity interviews, and thought-provoking conversations, because it's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning. How are you, my friend? Dude, today is, what day of the week is it? I guess today would be Monday. Today is Monday, September 5th, 2022. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Monday, September 5th, 2022. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most. And I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. I guess here in the United States, it's also something called Labor Day, I guess is what they call that today. Some type of holiday, Labor Day, celebrating of labor by not going to work, I guess is how that works. I don't really know or understand. I should probably do some research before I talk on that. There's probably something really important behind it. I'm sure that there's a story, but I don't quite know it, and I don't have it for you today. All I know is I'm at work this morning, and I'm going to continue to be at work every single day this week, because I know that as I am working, I'm making an investment in some of the most important people to me, which is my family. Listen, I hope you had an amazing weekend. I do. I hope you had an amazing weekend. I know that here at the Lundys, we had an amazing weekend. I actually got home a couple days early. I wasn't supposed to get home until Saturday evening. There was a cancellation. There was a change of plans, and I was able to get home to my fam on, when did I get there? Late Thursday night, right? 1 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. And so I was able to spend the weekend with the family. Now, Friday night, my wife had a girls' night. All right. Now, check this out. Is that like a dad joke? Jeremy Courtney, I see that. Right? So Friday night, my wife had a rare girls' night. Now, she doesn't do that very often, but she was like, honey, I think she was having a week is what it was. I think the kids, I was out of town. I think she was ready to, she was just like, I got to get. So she had a girls' night out with the girls on Friday night. Now, just typical to what most guys would do, I would assume, at least, all I know for me is when mama goes out for a girls' night, so she that means she's leaving me with my 7 children, to run solo. I'm running solo with my 7 children. And the only thing I know how to do, when you put me in a situation like that, the only thing that I know how to do is stack some more children on and just go have a blast. And that's exactly what I did. So I had my 7, then I called up my buddy Michael Kirk, and he grabbed his 2, and then we grabbed 2 more from down the street, and then we grabbed 1 from down the road. So we took 12 of them. I had 12 kids on Friday night, me and my buddy Michael Kirk, and we went to a place called Malibu Jack's that's got go-karts and playhouses and arcade games and all of these things. So we went over there and spent $650, I believe it was. Spent $650 that night. And then from there, we went ahead and hopped over to Baskin Robbins and got all the kids some ice cream. My wife met up with us at that point. Her girls' night was done. But it was me plus 12 for my wife's girls' night, right? And then Saturday was a little bit different because in the Lundy house last week, I guess it was last week, maybe the week before, I decided to take the TV out of the living room, right? And for the first time in 44 years of being alive, I do not have a TV in my living room. We still have TVs in other parts of the house, but not in the center of the house, right? And when I took it down, it was crazy. I realized, like, holy smokes, even though I don't watch a ton of TV, this thing has been the center of my family dynamic for 44 years. And so this weekend, with no TV, it was really a different dynamic. I did spend a lot of time snuggling with the kids, playing with the kids, laying around with the kids, right? We did a lot of that on Saturday. We also got a lot of work done on Saturday around the house, right? There were odd jobs and open loops that needed to be completed, right? We were able to move some furniture. We were able to do some rearranging. My wife's putting together, listen to this. Don't tell my wife I told you, but she took the crib, bro. We've had the same crib for like every kid. And she took the crib and she packed it up and she's actually giving it away to a friend, right? The season of having babies has officially come to an end for the Lundys. It's crazy. I can't even imagine what our life's going to look like, right? So she packed it up, right? So we got a lot of those things done on Saturday, right? And so drop down in the comments what your weekend looked like for you as I'm sharing mine. So then Sunday was our 11-year anniversary, right? It was an 11-year anniversary. My wife and I watched this beautiful woman right here. I watched this beautiful woman walk down the aisle 11 years ago, having no idea that fast forward 11 years later, and we would go from this well-groomed, polished couple to these two right here messing with each other all the time. We've become best of friends. It's really been awesome, right? It's just been an awesome journey. We've been together 13 years, been married 11. Obviously, we've had the 7 kids. We've lived in like 5 different houses. We've had multiple different jobs, and we've progressed, right? We keep progressing. We keep progressing. Now we've got the 7 kids, the 3 turtles, the 4 frogs, the 3 dogs, which, by the way, 2 of our puppies made their way out of the yard across the street and somehow into our neighbor's pool. So we got to manage that on Sunday, which was super fun. But my wife and I went out last night for our anniversary. And we went out and we had dinner at just a little, nothing fancy, right? We went to this little place. It's called Lex Live here in Lexington, Kentucky. And we just ate like bar food, potato skins, cheese curds, tacos, that type of thing. And then we sat and we watched a movie. We went and watched Where the Crawdads Sing. We went and saw that movie together. But we just laughed and we talked and we had a really, really important conversation. I asked my wife, I said, we've been together for 11 years. I said, what would you say we've done amazing in the last 11 years? And then I said, what do you think we did wrong in the last 11 years? And then I asked the most important question, what do you think we can do better moving forward in the next 11 years? And the biggest takeaway that we had from that conversation, the biggest takeaway that I have that I can share with you from that conversation is please make sure that the communication lines are clear in all of your relationships. whether it be with the people that you work for, the people that you care for, the people that you love and that you do life with. Make sure the communication lines are clear and that you are on the right path. Like, use auditing systems to prioritize your life. You see, so many of us get caught up, right? We're just going through the motions. We've got all the kids, we've got the jobs, we've got the work, we got the this, we got the that, we got the all of these things, right? We've got all of these things and we don't take the time to really audit. And so listen, I'm telling you, take the time to audit all the different aspects and areas of your life. Really simple. Just do it on a scale of 1 to 10. Be like, okay, when it comes to my faith, where am I at? 1 to 10. When it comes to my fitness, where am I at? 1 to 10. When it comes to my finances, where am I at? 1 to 10. When it comes to my family, where am I at? 1 to 10, right? Like, audit those things. The pillars of your life: faith, fitness, family, friends, finances, your career, and ultimately your mental health. Just running an audit, a consistent audit, to make sure you're right on the right path. My wife and I have come a long way. And of course, there's nothing we would or could change. We absolutely love every instance of where our life is today. With that said, we intend for the next 11 years to be even better than the rest. The next 11 to be even better than the past. And the only way we can do that is through clear communication and making sure that our priorities are in line. We know where we're headed and we know how we're going to get there. And speaking of priorities, one of the things that we have to do on this show that is a priority every single episode is we got to dance, baby. It is priority. It is a priority up in here that we do some dancing on this show every single morning, right? We got to get that object in motion. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. Hold up. I like that. Yeah. There it is. Listen, for those of you that know, and yeah, we're live. Those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way you start your day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where we're going to get moving. We're going to get your body in motion. If you're laying in bed, it's time to get up. All right, you got to get up. If you're out on a run right now, you can run a little bit faster. If you're working out in the gym, let's put on a little bit of extra weight. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. We no longer have time to rest. Ain't no point in resting on our laurels. Let the rest of the world rest. Let the rest of America rest today on Labor Day while you're out there getting it. Right, Jeremy Nolan? You want to gain speed, pace? You want to get ahead of your competition? Then let's do some work today, all right? You're here. You're up. You're alive. Let's do some work. This is also the part of the show where I want you to say good morning to me and I want to say good morning to you. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, I'll say what's up back. Good morning, Terry Collins. Great to see you. I see Kim Ferris up in the building. Mr. Don Sankey, the cheese curds did not squeak, sir. They did not. Paula Collins is in the building. I see Robert Migliaccio is up in here. My boy, Raheem. What's up, Raheem? I hope you're killing it up there, bro. Renee Noor is in the building. Melvin Rodriguez is up in here as well. I want to see some dancing emoticons over on Clubhouse. Clubhouse lets us have this new feature now where you can like do some little dancing with your profile pic. I love it. So I want to see some dancing emoticons while I'm looking over at the Clubhouse side. That would be great. What's up, William? Great to see you. How you doing, Jeff Moffitt? I see Caravana Francis is in the building. And of course, the one and only Josh. What's up, Diana? I'm so glad you're here. Julio Soto is in the building. Kelly Joy. There you go, Jeff. I see that, Jeff. I see Shelly's in the building. I see Wendy's up in here as well. I see Queen. I see Portugal. I see Bobby. Portugal. That's a beautiful name. I love it. I see Ramon is in the house today. There's Yen. She's up in here. My man, Core Element. Dude, y'all got to check out Core Element. He's got some amazing music. Ivy is up in here this morning. Lady Jules and Mary Kim We got Michael in the building. Shelly, there's Sunny doing some dancing. Great to see you, Sunny. I see Coco and Dominique. I see Gloria Bond. I also see Ray Hatcher, Diamond Ray up in the building. Robert Kennedy is up in here today. And Vilma Samuel. That's right. Move that thing. Diana Evans. I'm so glad you're here. Dora Maria is up in here. Great to see you, Dora Maria. I see Gail B. Craft is up in here. Paula Collins and River Scott. Thanks so much for joining me right here live on GM3X. If you're in the automotive space, I want you to come join me live in Atlanta. We're going to be down there next month, right? October 26th, I believe it is. And we would love to have you. If you're an owner or general manager of a car dealership, you're going to want to join us. What's up, Scott Simons, my boy in the house? You're going to want to join us. It's going to be fantastic. I think Scott's going to be there too. Make sure you come check us out. Automotive dealer owners and GMs only, exclusively on October 26th, the Technology Matters Summit presented by 800% Elite Automotive Club. We are holding this event at one of the premier dealerships in the United States of America. We will be at Beaver Toyota in Cummins, Georgia. That's right, Beaver Toyota, led by Patrick Abad. I know you've heard of the place. They've had a massive increase in sales over the last 3 years. And we're going to have our event right there on site. So you can check out the store. You can check out all the features. You can check out what some are calling the Disneyland of dealerships as we learn that technology matters from Dan Moore, Aaron Cheeks, Brian Kramer, and so many more. Grab your ticket now. We'll see you there. October 26th, Cummins, Georgia. Don't miss it.
Good morning, it's Jess with Good News Girls. Alex is gone for the month. She's actually out on her honeymoon. She's been trying to take since COVID hit. So you just got me this month, but I have a great story to tell you guys today. I am all about reading and hearing when someone wants to give back to children. Something about it really touches my heart. And today I come across an article where Michigan's football player Jake Moody will be giving back through Field Goals. His goal is to give back $300 per field goal this season. Last year, he was good for 23 out of 25. So I say this year, he's going to be making some money for these children. He's planning to meet up with some sponsors, and he himself is going to give money back, but the sponsors will be the ones that donate $300 per field goal to Mott Children's Hospital. He personally had a friend that was impacted by pediatric cancer, so giving back to children really is something that kind of touches his heart and is good for him. I can't wait to come back to this story next year when the season's over and see how much money he was able to raise for this hospital. So thank you guys for watching today. I hope you have a great week and crush every goal that you have.
So check it out. My oldest is 23 years old. I have 8 children total. I've got a 23-year-old. I have a 12-year-old. I have a 10-year-old. I have an 8-year-old. I have a 6-year-old. I have a 5-year-old. I have a 3-year-old. And I have a 20-month-old. I believe she's right at 20 months. But my oldest is 23 years old. And she lives in Flagstaff, Arizona. She is a struggling creative who is trying to find her own way in modern culture and society. That is the best way I would describe her. A struggling creative trying to find her way. in modern culture and society. She is a young lady who's feeling her way through different jobs, in and out of schools, right? She went to 2 different colleges. She's got different friend circles that she's gone in and out of over the years, and obviously different experiences and things that challenge her, and that she's, just ultimately on a journey to try to find herself. Now, she is my first and only child that is outside of my relationship with Leslie Lundy, my wife, right? I have 7 children with my wife. I have one amazing, wonderful, incredible daughter outside of that relationship. Now, she is also the only child that I did not make a priority in my life. And because of that, she's also the only child that I missed out on 8 years of her life. From age 6 to age 14, I had 0 contact with my daughter. The reason for that is ultimately when I had my daughter, I was a young man working in the car business. And I had only known her mom a couple months when she got pregnant. And our relationship lasted till she was about 2 years old. And then when we split up when she was 2 years old, at that point, now I didn't have a girlfriend. And so basically my priorities were in order: partying. Partying was priority number 1, right? Chasing girls, that was priority number 2. And I guess maybe depending on the day, you could maybe flip-flap those back and forth, right? Then priority number 3 was working. I was working at a car dealership, and that's how I made all the money that I needed in order to be able to party and chase girls. It's ultimately what fueled all of that. And then I'd say priority number 4 was drinking. You can't really do the partying and then chasing girls and the working without the drinking part, can you? At least back then, I couldn't think that you could. And then I think priority number 5, I would say, was drugging, right? Because that part was fun, to add a few drugs to the mix on top of the working 16-hour days and then partying all night long, chasing girls while drinking. That's basically my priority order, 1 through 5 at the time. And then I would say number 6 on the list was my daughter, Kira. She was definitely number 6 on the list. And because of that, it was only a matter of time where before her mother made a decision that she didn't want me to be in her life anymore. And so my daughter stayed the weekend with me, and she got picked up by her mom, and she was supposed to come back. Stayed the week with me, got picked up by her mom. She was supposed to come back on a Sunday. And I remember sitting in the living room. I heard the knock on the door. I assumed it was my daughter's mother bringing my daughter back. So I said, come in. They opened the door, and it's a process server. The process server says, you've been served. Hands me some papers. The papers say that my ex-girlfriend is taking full custody of my daughter, and that I will not have any privileges or rights to be able to see her. Now, Flagstaff, Arizona is a very unique place. Arizona is what's called a mother's rights state. Fathers have no rights unless we were married, which we were not. And therefore, I had no rights. And even though I was on the birth certificate, and so I had no rights. And immediately I went to a lawyer and said, what can we do about this? And the lawyer said, we can do a DNA test. We can do this. We can do this. We can do that. It's going to cost you about $17,000 up front just to be able to go to court and try to do something about this. Well, between the partying, the chasing girls, the drinking, and the drugging, I didn't have $17,000 to say the least. And so 30 days later, I lost custody of my child, my firstborn. I wasn't allowed to see her. I wasn't allowed to write her, talk to her, have any contact with her whatsoever. It was a decision her mother made to protect her from me, to protect her from being hurt by a guy who did not make her a priority in his life. And so I look at that season, and though I understand that season had to happen, right? Because of that, I ended up leaving. I ended up leaving Arizona. I moved to Kentucky. I met my wife. I had my 7 kids. I get to spend my mornings with you, right? So all of that had to happen. That season with my daughter had to happen in order for us to get here. So I understand that. I don't regret that season, but I do regret how much it hurt her. For 8 years, she didn't know if her dad was alive or not. For 8 years, she thought that her dad had just walked out on her and completely abandoned her and didn't love her. And so that part I regret. And now I do everything in my power to remind her how loved she is as she goes through her different seasons and her different colored hair and her different jobs and her different education and her different creative endeavors. I just remind her all the time, I love you. Even though her and I argue and we fight because she's 20 something and she knows it all, right? And I'm 40 something and I know it all and all of those things. Like, I just remind her how much I love her and that she's a priority to me. To everyone here that can hear my voice right now, take this note. Please put your kids second in all that you do. Please put your kids second in all that you do. And the only reason they come second is because I'm going to challenge you to put God first. You see, first for me was partying. Second was chasing girls. Third was working. Fourth was drinking. Fifth was drugging. Sixth was Kira. And God was nowhere in there. But I'm going to challenge you, put God first in your life and then put your children. And if you don't have children, when I say children, people younger than you that you have an opportunity to guide and to lead. Put them second in all that you do. Like in everything that you do. When you go to work, I want you working for those that you have the opportunity to lead and make an impact in their life. When you're training, when you're doing any type of training, whether it's fitness, whether it's health, whatever, I want you to do it for those that you have the opportunity to lead in your life. When you're learning something, I want you to learn with this vigorous attitude of, hey, I'm not learning this just for me. I'm learning for those I get the opportunity to lead in my life. Maybe it's your children. Maybe it's a coworker. Maybe it's the kid that you mentor through your church. Maybe it's the young people down at the local YMCA. I don't know who it is that God has gifted you with the opportunity to make a priority in your life, but I challenge you to do so. We were just talking this morning in Breakfast with Champions. It's so ironic how these things always come together. The biggest difference between who I was and the man that I am today is this word right here, this word lead, L-E-A-D-D. And you'll probably see it in some of my posts. You probably think I'm spelling lead wrong, but this is literally the mantra with which I go into every aspect of my relationships, anything relational, whether it's work, whether it's home. I follow this process of lead, to listen, encourage, advise, and develop, and do it daily. When I have conversations with my children, I listen, I encourage, I advise, and I develop. When I'm making a prospect call in my business, I listen, I encourage, I advise, and I develop. When I'm having a relationship or a conversation with my wife after 11 years of being together, when I have a conversation with my wife, I listen, I encourage, I advise, and I develop. You see, folks, we've all been given opportunities. An opportunity to serve and make an impact for generations to come. That's what this life is all about, as far as I'm concerned. If you ask me, it's all about impact, right? And so the way that we can impact is obviously becoming the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. Not an average version, not a below average version, not a little bit above, but the absolute best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. With that said, though, don't lose sight of the priorities, which are the people in your life. Become the best version of you so that you can better serve them. You see, friends, I love you. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. And so this week, I'm going to challenge you. This week, we're going to take this rare and unique opportunity where a father of 8 who has spent time, who clearly knows what the experience is like when you don't prioritize those that God has given you to lead and when you do. This week, I'm going to challenge that. I'm going to challenge every aspect of what you do and why you do it. Right here on GM3X, out of love to help push you towards that best version that I know you can be. So listen, make sure you come back again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll be doing more of this. We're also going to go over to Clubhouse. We're going to have a discussion about today's show. We'll have a discussion about that over on Clubhouse if you're watching live. If you're watching on replay, we are on Clubhouse in the Breakfast with Champions room from 5 a.m. until 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time, bringing you motivation, education, inspiration, so you can always pop in there. However, if you're not catching us any of those times, then all you need to do is come back tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. because we're going to continue to be right here, rising and grinding on hashtag GM3X. Have an incredible day. I'll see you tomorrow.
You're not so far away. I saw you not so long ago. Was it just yesterday? Got that old feeling that I know. In the dark of the night, I'll be alright. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. The sun will of messages overtaking what I know. A war is a whisperer, and it's coming for my soul. In the dark of the night, I can see the light. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. Set me free. I was searching for someone to fight for me. I'll remember it's your light that shines on me. I won't be afraid. I will look to the light. I will not be shaken. I know it will be alright, 'cause you're with me. I know that the sun will rise.